Hello, my name is Michael Johnson, and the first character pitch that I want to share with you is about a character named Steve Burrell. Steve Burrell is the first, youngest African American Supreme Court Justice at the age of 31 years old. Steve is the most courageous, decisive judge ever to be on the Supreme Court Justice. He can be a little insecure when it comes to being judged by his peers or anyone outside of the courtroom. One night, Steve has some time on his hands. He decides to do a little bit of extra work. As he passes out from just sheer exhaustion, he goes into a deep coma-like sleep, and he has a dream where he sees himself in shackles and chains in the courtroom. At this point, he sees archangels, and he's wondering, why is he here? And he's sweating and shaking at this point. The archangel comes in and says, "All rise." As the rest of the angels rise up, God walks in. Now, we don't see God, but Steve sees God. Everyone sits down at this point. God asks him one question. He says, "Who are you to judge?" Steve wakes up from, he's shaken by the dream, and he goes to the mirror and he asks himself, "Who am I to judge?" Number two pitch is about a boy named Jawan. Jawan is a young black male from East Oakland, California, and it's just him, his mom, and his two twin brothers and his sister. Now, Jawan has, some insecurities because his father wasn't around, and this makes him grow stronger. So at this point, he has to grow up faster to help and support his mom. But with that being said, he does have a heart defect from his mother doing crack when she was pregnant with him. This makes Jawan have the heart of a 75-year-old man as opposed to a 23-year-old man. One day, as Jawan is walking home with his homeboy, he passes out. Now, the next time we see Jawan, he's in the hospital. He wakes up and he sees that he has needles and tubes down his throat. The doctor comes and tells Jawan that his heart was too weak to pump blood to his brain, so he passes out. The doctor tells Jawan that he needs a heart transplant, but he can only receive a heart from someone who has the same blood as him, as Jawan has a rare blood type, O negative. They can only receive O negative blood. So Jawan comes to the point to where he's just like, "Look, I'm not gonna make it. I have a rare blood type. I give up hope." All of a sudden, the doctor tells Jawan that he has a visitor, and Jawan's wondering, who can this be? A man walks in who favors Jawan, looks just like him. He says, "Hi, son. I will give you my heart." Next character I want to share with you is about an officer named John Bryan. Now, John Bryan is a do-the-right-thing officer. He does his best to follow the law and to be fair, and he's well loved by his community. John has never really had a bad day as being an officer. He loves his job, he loves his family, he loves his community. And when he sees, someone doing wrong, he tries to talk to him, tries to stop them from committing a crime, because he understands that, they have a family as well. They have somewhere they need to be, or they have someone that, that they need to go. And one day, John gets a call from an unknown caller. As he's talking on the phone with him, the unknown caller is saying, "Hey, you have an hour to release my brother, who's arrested for a murder that he did not commit." And John Bryan doesn't know who's calling him. He says, "Hey, I'm not sure who you are, but if I have caused any issues or arrested your brother on false charges, please get a lawyer and fight the case." So the guy on the phone says, "Okay, we'll do this the easy way." Hangs up. John really doesn't pay attention to the call or nothing like that, so he calls his wife and says, "Hey, babe, it's just been an exhausting day. I'll be home soon." She says, "Okay." As soon as he gets home, he sees his wife and children murdered in cold blood on the floor. He's crying. He doesn't know what's going on. And he gets up and he vows to figure out who did this to him, regardless if it breaks the law. This next character pitch is about a man named Gerard. Now, the year is 2121, pretty far into the future. And Gerard has a PhD in journalism. He has traveled the world making money and living off of writing about people's lives and experiences. Now, Gerard is to the point to where, okay, he has his PhD, he's been traveling, he has a wife now. His next goal is to bring his wife a home so she can turn it into an even bigger home. So at this point, they go to the real estate broker. Now, Gerard wants to, go to a nice, rich area, upscale homes, and have better education, so there's better opportunities. As we're speaking with the real estate broker is saying, yeah, you can afford this area, and we're sure it'll be a nice pick for you, but your kind isn't welcome here. And Gerard and his wife doesn't understand because it's the year 2121. So you would think that, racism and inequality is gone, right? No. So at this point, Gerard asks him, who are you to decide where we stay? Last character is about a man named Tony. Tony is an African American male. He's 18 years old, and he grew up in a low income area where most African American males don't have a father. But Tony was fortunate to have his father. His father stuck around. And growing up in a home with his mother, his two older half brothers who don't know much about their fathers, it kind of gets hectic. So from the time Tony was a little kid, he witnessed his father having to fight his older brothers just to prove that he was worthy of being there. And now his father isn't the type to back down from nothing. So Tony had to witness this he was from a little kid to an adult. And when he grew up, he vowed to never ever witness his brothers disrespect his father again. He's very protective of his father's relationship because he's been there for him. Who wouldn't, right? As Tony is at work one day, his mother calls him. She says, "Hey Tony, you need to get here now. Your older brother is fighting your father again." So Tony at this point doesn't know what to feel. He feels this fire inside of him because he just doesn't understand. He rushes home and he breaks up the fight. He warns his older brother to leave before things can get worse. So this film kind of talks about how be grateful. No one owes you anything. Why are you still angry?